welcome to FMA. Today we're here with Aysha Chowdhury, who's going to be sharing her experiences with forced marriage. So Aysha, tell us your story. Walaikum salam.
It just happened so fast, like I don't know where to begin.
Okay, tell us from the beginning. What happened first?
I have 3 older sisters, mashallah, and 2 young.
Would you like some tissues? Okay. Can you carry on? All right.
I have 3 older sisters and 2 younger brothers. My older sister, I believe she was forced when she was 20. Okay. She was lucky because she finished college. My sister, when she was 17, she just turned 17, and my family had a potential suitor from Bangladesh, and I was quite young at that time. I was only 1 year younger than her.
Okay.
So I was 16, and like she didn't want to get married. Like every night we would sit up and talk about our futures and our dreams for the future, and we both wanted to be doctors and working alongside each other, and her dreams were cut short when it came about that she was ready to get married. And I remember her initial reaction. She was so terrified because obviously it's not nice to go through something so horrible.
Would you like to take a break?
No, I'm fine.
Okay, so when did you notice signs of forced marriage being forced upon you?
So after she ran away from home, we didn't get to see the wedding because she ran away, and I haven't seen her in over 3-4 years, and I really miss her. And the thing was, my parents knew that if they didn't get me married off, the same family shame would be brought upon the family. So when I had just turned 17, just like my older sister, they didn't tell me I was gonna get married. They were like, we've learned from our past mistakes. They were just trying to manipulate me into thinking that I was going on holiday somewhere. And I remember at the boarding pass, I was so happy because it was the first time we had gone on a holiday. And
would you like some more tissue?
And we got on the plane, and obviously I did not expect to go like somewhere beautiful in the country. I did expect to go Bangladesh, but I expected a holiday with my family, like in our village, somewhere nice, somewhere quiet. And instead I went to the city, and I was quite amazed because it was the first time I'd ever been somewhere so beautiful.
You didn't know you were going to be given away to someone else, did you?
I was oblivious to what my parents had planned for me, and I went to a hotel, and my mom was like, Aysha, you are gonna get married later on today. And my initial reaction was to laugh. I was like, oh, is this a joke for what had happened to my sister? I just laughed, and it wasn't a joke. And I met my husband for the first time in my life. So when I walked into that hall, and he was not my age. He was definitely not my age. He looked around 40, and that smile upon his face. And the worst part was after the wedding, we had to
you can stop here if you like.
my life had already ended when my parents tricked me into going to Bangladesh, and they tricked me into getting married. And I felt like my life was nothing, and my sister was so lucky to have escaped.
Did you have any contact with your family after you had gotten married? Or were you made to stay in the city?
He did not live in the city. He lived far from the city. After coming from London, a place of internet, freedom, and just laughter, I was brought into a home where my mother-in-law constantly beat me, where my husband beat me. I was just a housemaid. I done all the cooking, cleaning, and as soon as I gave birth to my first child, the abuse didn't stop. And my first child was a boy, and alhamdulillah, I knew that a boy wouldn't have such a terrible life. But when I gave birth to my first girl, I knew she was gonna face the same fate as me, and I took a leap of faith. We went to the city one day, and he gave me some freedom for the first time, and I took that freedom and I ran with it. I ran to a phone box, and I remember calling a number that I found on the billboard, because obviously forced marriage is a huge thing in Bangladesh and they want to bring awareness to it just like I want to. I called the number up and they got me help. I told them where I lived, what had happened, and the thing was they told me don't go back, and I didn't. I ran and I ran until I got somewhere safe, and when I got there I obviously got help and they brought me back to the UK, and currently they are persuading me to file charges against my parents, but I can't do that to them. Like, they didn't mean no harm. It's just a culture thing where women are seen as objects, and it's just a shame if your child doesn't get married by the age of 18, which is so stupid. And like, I'm doing so well now. Like, I've got the help I need, and I've got wonderful neighbours. And like, I live in a shared flat with other forced marriage victims, and the thing is, forced marriage isn't just restricted to Bangladeshi citizens. It's worldwide. It happens to everywhere. It happens to Indians, to Pakistanis. I know many non-British that are forced as well. However, they are lucky to be brought to the UK and get the help they need as well.
How did you feel after you found out that the FMA had contacted you and wanted you for an interview to bring awareness to forced marriage?
I know many of my flatmates had rejected your interview, but the thing was, I don't want my child to go through something like that. And I just want to bring awareness. Like, if your family just wants to take you abroad, make sure you do your checks. Make sure you ask questions. Don't just assume it's a holiday. You need to know, especially if your family's got a past with forcing their children into a marriage. And I really want to find my sister again, and I hope she notices me, and I hope she knows who I'm talking about, and I just wanted to reach out to me because I really do miss her.
I think we'll conclude that interview there. Thank you very much, Aysha Chowdhury, for being so brave to share your experience with us. For more information, go on to thefma.co.uk to find out more information about forced marriage and how you can prevent it. And go on to our Facebook page and check out our pages, and you can find a link to our GoFundMe page where we have a charity. And thank you very much.